Welcome back. That was the wonderful Bob Marley with Don't Worry About a Thing here on MTG Radio. You are tuned into Happy Hour with your girls, Angel and Audrey. Guys, please feel free to get involved and share your thoughts on all of our discussions. It's at Radio MTG. And don't forget to hashtag Happy Hour MTG. Or send us a text to 079 449 77737 just as we get into some chit chat. So this week we discuss something that is slightly humorous but equally quite serious. Confused? Audrey, can you shed some light on this?
Yes, I most certainly can. So, a leading scientist has made the claim that pencil erasers are the devil.
Are the who?
That pencil erasers are the devil.
Okay.
You heard me correctly. Guy Claxon, a leading cognitive scientist, has called erasers, has said that they are instruments of the devil and that they should be banished from the classroom.
Okay.
Now, this might sound, quite funny and amusing, but I think, in some respect, he might have a point. He goes on to say that children should be taught to learn from their mistakes rather than feel ashamed of them. They shouldn't feel the need to pretend to have got things right the first time, but should be encouraged to try things out, take wrong turns, and see what they can learn through that process. So, in a world where we can all edit our entire existence to online perfection, a world where failure is laughed at not only by people around you but virally. If something happens to you, someone could take a picture, put it on YouTube, and it goes viral. My question that I want to ask or pose today is, are we ashamed of making mistakes? Yes, are we ashamed of making mistakes?
That is a good question, Audrey. You said something quite interesting. You said we live in an era where you can edit your entire life existence to online perfection. Although that might sound a bit bizarre, it's actually very true. We actually do live in that time. And because of this reason, I do think that we are ashamed of making mistakes. Among other things, errors or mistakes open the door for three things. Experience, the opportunity to learn, and precision.
Yeah.
And if we abandon the right to making mistakes, how do we develop?
Exactly.
Every stage in life, in my opinion, has its own challenge, and because you may not be aware of what you are yet to face, it is possible that errors will be made along the way. However, it doesn't mean that you have failed. It simply means you are more knowledgeable about that particular area and have greater understanding about it. And life is a learning curve.
Exactly.
It really is, and one way you learn is through acknowledging the errors made by others or by yourself and understanding why it was incorrect and then correcting it.
Yeah.
A mistake is not a mistake if it becomes a lesson learned.
True. Very true, very true.
And technology has developed so much so that you can adjust or twerk just about anything, as you mentioned earlier. And as this is the case, there is a desire for perfection. The question is, to what standard is perfection measured to? And I was speaking to a friend about this, the other day, and it's so funny because all around us are messages which tell us what perfection should be. A certain height or certain weight, the way you pronounce your words, the Queen's English,
yes.
The way you sit, the way you walk, the way you talk, the list goes on.
Yeah.
And because of these standards, we don't want to be judged below that bar.
Yes, that's his benchmark that's been
been set. And I think there is nothing wrong with wanting to be a better version of yourself, but the only way this can be achieved is through understanding that progression is built on the former standard you set for yourself. And I'm sure in attaining that mark you set previously, you made errors, learned from them, and then re-strategized to arrive at where you are now. And, you know, in the same manner, in erasing your imperfections or trying to adjust them, in essence, you limit the opportunity of building or understanding fully just who you are.
Yeah.
I dropped the mic and walk out.
Bam.
You know, that I just heard myself. That sounded good, man.
No, I think you definitely made some good points there, and it's hard because especially in our generation now, and in my opinion, what the scientist was driving at was that erasing doesn't allow us to see our mistakes, and therefore we can never know the path that we took to make that mistake. If that makes sense. Now, I teach, and I understand what he was kind of driving at. You know, there's so many times I hear, "Miss, can I have a rubber?" Like, you don't understand. Every single day, there's so many times, and it can be frustrating because you want to see the method by which the child arrived at the answer that they got, so that you can help them and say, okay, at this step you got this wrong, do it this way, do it that way, so that they can arrive at the correct answer.
Right.
And I think that we now live in a culture where you can erase an image through Photoshop or get plastic surgery to fix a blemish. In real life, you know, we can straighten our teeth, get hair implants, get beard implants, and just about rub away anything we want to. You know, we take drugs to alter our moods and so on. So therefore, failure or making mistakes is something that is seen as very, very bad. You know, people can always stigmatize you with your mistake, regardless of if you left that mistake behind and done any good. Sometimes that's all they can see. And, you know, like I said before, it can be captured on and put on YouTube and go viral. You know, there's so many times where comedians have been just in a club or something, stating some facts or making some jokes, and someone has recorded it within the wrong context. It's been taken some virally, and then they've gotten in trouble for it for what they say. So it's kind of, I understand why people can be ashamed of making mistakes because of these benchmarks and because of these standards that have been set. But maybe the key here is not to look at mistakes as a failure, but to see it as a stepping stone. You know, what you learn through that mistake, like you said, can propel you forward and make you better potentially.
I agree, Audrey. And how you move forward, or how can you move forward if you don't have anything positive to take with you? You know the direction not to take due to experience because of the errors you've made previously. So you will ensure that you take the right turn so that you don't make another U-turn, because you now know the errors you made, so you're not going to
make the same mistake.
Exactly.